at least we got those feedbacks from people who have joined the last webinars, and also our customers that we invited. And they've been able to take some of the lessons learned here, and they've been able to integrate it into their businesses, and it has really, they've been able to see results. It has helped them a great deal. So today we're going to start by taking the opening prayer. I would like Mr. Ajibade to please pray for us.
Well, that means the Spirit told you that I'm Spirit-led this morning, and I'm happy to pray for us. Shall we pray? Father, as we start this webinar, the last for the year for CyberPay, my partners and my family, my friends over there, Father, let this webinar go smoothly in Jesus' name.
Amen.
NEPA, telcos, all the people that affect the network, let them not affect us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Let our data not finish as we do this seminar. And as we try to learn about or enlighten our knowledge about AI, let the takeaway be sufficient for us to do something new in our industry. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, sir. That was very brief and on point. So we'll be going straight into the webinar. Today we're talking about the topic, AI in financial services, enhancing decision-making and customer support. First of all, I'd like to say that the financial industry is undergoing a massive transformation, and artificial intelligence is at the heart of this evolution. So whether we like it or not, you're either going to ensure that you're equipped with the technology AI, or it jumps on you. Trust me, you don't want the latter to be your case, because you want to be prepared. You want to carry your customers along. You want to carry yourself along. And you want to be one of the tech experts in the industry that have imbibed AI into their businesses. Now, why do you need AI? From improving decision-making processes with predictive analysis to delving into personal customer experiences through AI-driven chatbots and virtual assistants, AI is reshaping how businesses operate and how we engage with our customers. So if you don't infuse AI into your business, trust me, in a year or two, your customers are going to know the difference between a platform that remembers a use case that has already been done on their system and a platform that doesn't. Today, we'll be exploring the critical role that AI plays in driving smarter and helping us to make faster decisions, enhancing our customer satisfaction, and also helping us to optimize operations in our industries, all while we ensure that we maintain trust, efficiency in a highly competitive industry. So I will invite every one of us today to let's dive into the future of financial services being powered by AI as I introduce our speakers. Our first speaker today, who is our guest speaker, will be Mr. Olatunji Gbesan. Mr. Olatunji Gbesan is a seasoned business strategist and a financial expert, boasting with a remarkable career spanning over a decade across different sectors, including banking, private equity, venture capital, asset management, and investments. He is widely recognized as a proven leader, and he has earned an impressive track record of driving growth and profitability in various ventures. He started his career in customer service at Skybank, where he drove with exceptional talents very quickly and showing in his career with propelling him up in the corporate ladder. He also has been leading various organizations. In October 2020, he sought a fresh challenge in dynamic realms of private equity and venture capital, leading him to contribute actively to the burgeoning success of Volition Capital. He was also instrumental in the launch of CFG Africa, formerly known as Concrete Limited, an asset management firm in Lagos, Olatunji has assumed the role of head alternatives and portfolio management units, leading the business to rapid growth within the first 8 months of operations. Subsequently, he was redeployed to head of corporate finance and advisory at Maynard Partners Limited, a subsidiary of CFG Africa, and also a licensed inter-dealer broker firm until his exit from the firm. At present, Olatunji serves as the managing partner of Crimson Oak Capital, an advisory and private capital firm focused on helping emerging corporates achieve scale by providing strategic support, research-driven advisory services, and required capital infusion. Olatunji obtained his first degree from Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, and later proceeded to obtain his master's degree from Babcock University. He holds certifications in corporate finance, wealth management, project finance, portfolio management. He is also a SEC licensed fund manager, a sought-after speaker and advisor. Olatunji is genuinely passionate about empowering others to achieve their business goals. His extensive expertise and diverse skill set continues to drive substantial contributions to the ever-evolving world of business and finance. Mr. Olatunji Gbekon, we say welcome to CyberPay and our webinar for today. Our keynote speaker for today is no other than Mr. Ajibade Laolu Adewale. Mr. Ajibade is our keynote speaker today. He is the Chief Partnership and Ecosystem Officer at Wema Bank, and is also the Chairman of the Committee of E-Business Industry Heads, known as CIBI. He is a certified cards and e-payment expert, noted for his tech expertise, innovation contributions in electronic products and ecosystem development, operations and marketing. He has a niche for deepening corporate relationships with government entities, businesses, and consumers to facilitate acquisitions, value-added transactions, and support. As the CIBI chairman, he manages industry stakeholders, engagements with regulators, driving advocacy in the payment industry, as well as financial inclusion. He brings to the fore experience in the digital payment industry, information systems, and financial control, ranging from collaborations with stakeholders, innovation, technology, and research in the digital payment ecosystem. Ajibade Laolu Adewale is an honorary senior member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. Mr. Ajibade, would like to say thank you for accepting to be part of us today and sharing your wealth of knowledge. We look forward to learning a lot from you. Our last speaker for today is Mr. Elvis Ifekam. Mr. Elvis Ifekam is a result-driven payment expert of over 18 years of experience, delivering innovative payment solutions and driving transformation in Nigeria's financial landscape. As a seasoned leader, he combines deep industry expertise with strategic vision to shape the future of payments and digital banking. He has built a distinguished career through impactful roles at Zenith Bank PLC and Unified Payments, where he developed and implemented cutting-edge payment systems and digital solutions that have significantly enhanced financial services in the sector. His extensive background spans payment systems, digital banking, and financial technology, with a strong focus on strategic leadership and team management. In his current role as country head at CyberPay, he leads operations with a commitment to excellence and innovation, leveraging his wealth of expertise. He is steering cyberspace mission to revolutionize the payments ecosystem in Nigeria, delivering secure, scalable, and customer-focused solutions that address market needs. His dedication to advancing the financial technology sector, coupled with his proven leadership skills, positions him as a transformative force in the industry. Thank you, Mr. Elvis, for being the leader here at CyberPay and encouraging us to host the webinar. I, your host for today, am Remy Ogunsoya, and I'd like to once again welcome everyone to today's webinar. It promises to be a very impactful one, both in your businesses and your personal lives. So we'll start by welcoming the first speaker for today, Mr. Olatunji Gbekon, to take us through his own insights and his own knowledge of the topic that we are talking about today, which is AI in financial services. Mr. Mr. Olatunji, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Remy. Please confirm you can see my screen now.
Yes, it's up.
Okay, great. All right. So good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I thank you always for this great opportunity to share with you all. And it's great also meeting Mr. Jiba on the call. I mean, I think it's a setup putting me before Mr. Jibade, right? Because when my guy is here, I should literally be sitting and then listening. But you have decided to set me up by making me go first before my yoga. But again, I mean, I know a lot of times when we get to talk about technology, right? For the longest, for people that started their career in traditional banking, technology as a way used to be something we never used to agree with. So it used to feel like technology was going to come and kick us out of the entire financial industry, right? And I mean, if you remember, that there was a time when, if you look at the evolution of banking in Nigeria, it started from the days of tally. When you go to the bank and you need to get tallies to mark your attendance and then wait and all of that, to days where we are now having multiple faster alternative to banking. And it felt like it was the banking sector, right, that embraced it first. But now, with the advent of AI, machine learning, and a lot of technological tools, the technological advancement is now beginning to touch every sector in the financial services, from asset management to financial advisory to banking to payments and all of that. And one of the things you would discover is that this has literally helped us work faster and smarter. So contrary to the initial resistance from people in that industry, like, oh, one of the things that we used to hear a lot then was that ATMs was going to take over the job of a lot of people. POS is going to render a lot of people useless. But now we see that even with the infusion of multiple technological elements, people still retain their jobs. The only difference now is how your job is being done, not the job being done. And I think that would help. I mean, that would lead me to the very first thing I want to talk about. So when we hear artificial intelligence, a lot of times we have misconstrued what artificial intelligence is. So I'm not going to focus on trying to define what artificial intelligence is. I'll try to differentiate what artificial intelligence is not. And I think the first thing is differentiation. So when you talk about artificial intelligence, AI's impact on human perception and interaction, right? What AI typically tries to do when it comes to human interaction and perception is to enhance it, right? Differentiate it from the regular thought pattern and expand it based on comparative analysis of multiple data points, right? AI is also not an algorithm. So for people that code and the tech is there, AI is not algorithm. So it's not a predefined procedures for task. No, AI is reliant on multiple data points, right? And that's why it's called artificial intelligence. It is intelligent enough to process multiple data points. So we don't see it as just some sort of algorithm written to provide an answer for people. And then it's also it's not a model, or it's not models. It's not a mathematical formula straight on data, right? Of course, it's not robot. You know that, funny enough, I was having a conversation with an older friend who is in the financial services, and we're talking about infusion AI, I mean, the infusion of AI into some analytical process. And for the longest, it took the man, I think the man is close to 70 now. It took the man, when I kept saying I think that for the longest, the picture the man kept having in his head was robots, right? Kicking everybody out and robots coming to take place and take charge of everything. But AI is not robots. Automated machines are not necessarily AI. They can be AI powered, they can rely on AI, but robots in themselves are not AI. And then in terms of neutrality, the truth is, you know, So some months ago, I was at a training and a young chap was talking about how to build your CV using ChatGPT and some other AI tools. And the guy was saying it is funny how some people don't know how to use these tools because somewhere in their head, they don't see it as giggle, garbage in, garbage out. It is what you put in into an interface like ChatGPT that it processes and returns to you. So AI tools do not differ from human biases. It is not neutral, right? Elvis can decide to use AI to achieve a certain result because you have programmed it that way. You have kept some input or data points to provide certain results. So it is not entirely neutral. It could give you some sort of wider range in terms of possibility and options, but it's not neutral. So don't expect a neutral answer from AI when using AI. And then singularity, for the techies and the science people, there's a hope that maybe someday all form of technological advancement will be put on just one pole and everything will hang on just one pole, right? But that's not the case with AI. Hypothetical future of uncontrolled AI. I don't think that in the future AI will remain uncontrollable because it has a lot of human input. AI will still have some sort of control. So this is what AI is not, right? AI is not all of these things that we have said. AI is just very simple. Artificial intelligence. Intelligence that is based on multiple data points that exist, even sometimes beyond your reach, and then it processes it to help you do some great work. And how does it impact financial services? I think that over the years, right, AI's impact is not only felt in fintech. For the longest, when we say financial services or when we talk about tech and the financial services, the best form of tech and financial services that we used to think of was fintech. Everything was leveraged on fintech. Everything is fintech. But hey, guys, there are so many people doing greater things outside of fintech, right? There are a lot of opportunities in financial advisory, and all of us depend on AI. Now, how does it help us? Accuracy, for example, when you look at the financial services and you look at the impact of AI on accuracy, it ensures precision in tasks like fraud detection and risk assessment. Now, if you're looking at people writing credit and you leverage AI for credit writing, you'll be shocked at how much you can quickly pick out comfortable result points, right, from AI-driven analysis. Also, I mean, its impact is felt in how efficient our processes have become, right? Imagine automating a lot of processes using AI, right? And then the cost you would reduce, and then how much money or resource you have to allocate to different other points, right? So it has helped with a lot of efficiency, customer satisfaction. All of us will attest to this. So there's Ziva, there's multiple chatbots, right, that rely on artificial intelligence to engage customers from time to time. That there used to be a point that you literally have to stay on the queue for almost 10, 15 minutes to speak to a customer service agent, right? Now, people can literally chat with chatbots and get automated answers and feedback on what they want. Now, for risk management, AI helps you to identify potential risk and fraudulent activities proactively. You can sit in the comfort of your office as a risk analyst, right? And then have variants, right, of different risk and mitigants beyond what you could literally sit and think of almost immediately. And of course, regulatory compliance. AI has helped a lot of the people working with AI or working in some of these sectors to monitor transactions to ensure adherence to regulations. And I think that these are some of the impacts that we felt. And I can tell you because in 1, 2, 3 of these transactions, I mean, in my current life now in financial advisory, we've had to leverage some of this. I'll give an example. There was a transaction we were working on recently, and we had to leverage AI in terms of risk management. There were things that if we had not if we had leveraged on human intelligence, we could have missed certain things out, certain information, certain case studies, right? You will be shocked that the volume of information, right, that AI has access to, and how this can relatively drive and impact your level of assessment and the things that you are looking to achieve. Now, how can we use artificial intelligence for decision making? Now, one thing I quickly had to do was, when you talk about financial decision making, what are the key things that you literally do? So first off, you want to identify objectives, you gather your information, you analyze risk and opportunities, you evaluate alternative, you make your decisions, and then you implement strategies, right? Now, for a minute, right, focus on the decision making funnel and imagine how difficult, how strenuous these processes have been over the years. You know, for the longest, when I started off in the bank and we used to write credits, I would sit to analyze credit over and over and over again, look at multiple financial statements, look at multiple comparatives, just to sit down. You are gathering information, you are analyzing risk, you are talking to multiple persons, and then you start the evaluation. Now, this is the typical life of a lot of people in the financial services, be it advisory, be it asset management, be it credit, be it payment. Because even if you are in the payment service industry, for example, you need to clearly define your project and your product, right? You need to gather information and analyze all the potential risks. Now, imagine how strenuous it is, how cumbersome the entire process can be over a cumulative long period, and the number of human hours you would actually burn into trying to solve all of this. Now, with the advent of AI, what has changed? Improved decision making. I think that's the very first thing, right? And how has that helped? Now, AI driven decision making in financial services is basically driven by data analytics and machine learning algorithms. So you can sit down and say, we need to make a decision. Let's put this data into the system, get it analyzed. There's machine learning algorithms. Combine all of this together, it's literally like putting it inside a big box, dump everything, shake it, and then give us an output. Now, these technologies let financial institutions analyze vast amounts of data in speed and accuracy. But one interesting thing is also, it exceeds your limitation. So if you're in Nigeria, for example, you may have limited access to certain data, but with artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, you have access to data cross-border. So you're in Nigeria, you need to, analyze certain decisions or make certain analysis, and you have data points from Nigeria, from the UAE, from the United States, from China, from India, all within the comfort of your room. Now, for any decision maker, those are the things that you really want to see. Touch points beyond where you are at the moment, touch points beyond your current, your current location, your geographical location. And these are the things that really help. If you look at people that do research, one of the challenges is you literally have to go and sit down with multiple libraries to examine different shelves upon shelves to get results. But now all of that is sorted. You sit with your system, you have multiple AI tools that can help you make wiser and more effective decisions. The second thing that AI is doing for a lot of decision makers in the financial services is predictive analysis. And that literally leverages the use of historical data to assess future trends. Now, according to a report by Granville Research, the global predictive analytics market was valued at about 10.01 billion in 2020 and is expected to expand at a CAGR rate of 23.2% from 2021 to 2028. Now, that is how big predictive analytics has become and how important that market is for financial service industry. Now, in financial services industry, predictive analytics helps in risk management, fraud detection, and investment strategies. How? Now, imagine you need to make an investment in a sector in Nigeria. So let's assume that CyberPay now needs to make a huge investment or divest some of its operations and all of that. It's okay for you to do simulations you do simulations, you sit down, you make your plan, strategy, and all of that. But with predictive analytics, right, you are looking at historical data. You are looking at what has happened over a period of time, inputs and case studies across the world. right? And then the system is helping you analyze it and giving you an average of what could potentially happen in the future. Imagine that you come to the bank as a borrower, right? And the system is using predictive analytics to analyze your credit score over a period of time, and is now showing us that based on your credit score and your behavioral pattern over the years, this is what we think would happen if you have access to this kind of loan, right? A lot of banks are now beginning to use predictive models, even in Nigeria, to evaluate credit risk based on credit history and financial behavior of borrowers. It's also very useful for fraud detection. So with predictive analysis, you can detect patterns, right? Transactional patterns. So you look at transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3, and then predict it to say, based on this system and dynamics, we think that this could be a potential fraud case in the future. Now, with fraud also, AI has generally and greatly enhanced financial security. With AI now, you can, like I was saying earlier, you can predict patterns. We can predict patterns that will flag fraudulent activities. Machine learning algorithms are used to identify unusual patterns and anomalies in transactions. And these are just made it so easy. I think sometimes in 2022, right, we were looking at fraud cases in Nigeria that had happened in the financial services, and you'll be shocked at the volume of such things happening, right? But with tools in artificial intelligence now, you can begin to stem some of these things on the board and say, okay, with our AI tools, we can detect quite early patterns, transaction patterns, right? You are looking at an account and you run it via artificial intelligence, and you are beginning to pick out layering dynamics in the transactions. Okay, this account is being used to layer laundered money, right? Or this money is, all of those patterns are quite easily detectable. Also, how does it help decision makers? It increases your efficiency. And I think that all of us will agree to this. Before now, if I had asked anybody on this call to go and prepare a 10-pager document, right, that speaks to the future of payment services in Nigeria, you may literally have to spend over 2 months moving from University of Ibadan to University of Ife to Unilag and everywhere, trying to look for materials, running desk analysis, moving from UPS to CyberPay to eTransact to everybody trying to gather data. But imagine with artificial intelligence, how long it takes all of us now. Comfortably, some of us on this call, if our bosses ask us to do reports and they say, do you ask for timeline? They tell you that Friday, we'll give you a week. You don't even touch those reports until Wednesday, because you know that by the time you sit down in front of AI, check 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get the report ready. And it's not just the report. AI is also helping you now with presentation slide, flow charts, diagrams, and all of that. That has greatly increased the efficiency of everybody and even decision makers. And the good thing is, the same AI tools that you can use to generate information, right? We are also AI tools that would also help to determine and check whether this thing has wholly and fully been written by AI or has human input. And the good part of it is there are also now AI tools that can also help you to humanize whatever you have written. So you'll see that there's a blend that increases the efficiency cross-border for everybody. And of course, automation. Robotic process automation is one of the most important AI-driven technologies, and it is being used in automating repetitive and time-consuming tasks, right? And so financial institutions use RPA for tasks such as data entry, compliance reporting, and customer onboarding, freeing human employees to attend to more strategic activities. I'll speak about this a bit. And this was the challenge a lot of bankers in particular, they had when a lot of banks started introducing what's it called, tech into the space, and they're going to take our jobs, they're going to take this and all of that. No. And I had a boss then that would always say that the reason why you have been employed is because your employer thinks you are strategic enough to sit on that desk. Tech would not take over your job, but you have been put there to put the tech into good use and become more efficient. So you'll see that in automated processes. But before now, if you go to the bank and you needed to fill form, you literally will need to sit down and write plenty form, 5, 6, 7 pages to fill. Now, people are opening accounts online, right? Using predictive analysis, using automated process. You put in your name, all your stored data pops up and all of that. BVN verification is happening almost on the go and on the fly. And then compliance reporting is quite easier. You can automate all your processes. You can flag things so easily. So rather than do things that are repetitive and time consuming, right? It's quite easy to automate all of these processes leveraging AI. Now, so maybe the last part I'll talk about before just wrapping up is the part that talks about leveraging AI for better customer support. Now, we all agree that if we are all Nigerians, we know that the biggest challenge most businesses in Nigeria face is customer support. And it's becoming almost a cultural thing for us. People get to complain about how bad our customer support system is in Nigeria. But I've also seen people leveraging AI to drive customer support. And how can it help? So I'll mention a couple, right? The first is sentiment analysis. Don't let me start from sentiment analysis. I'll start from response speed. Now, imagine, I don't know how many of us on this call have had interactions with chatbots. So I think that some banks have Zivar. I'm not sure if it's Zenith that has Zivar, and some of these chatbots where you can literally put your questions and then you are getting automated responses, right? This has helped a great deal. So you know that you don't necessarily need to wait to speak to a customer service agent for 10, 15 minutes because the call is elongated. Bots can respond to you faster. So you get instant responses, you get agent auto suggestions right on the call, right? The second thing that is also helping with is personalized customer interactions, right? You can interact with AI in such a way that your data is now being analyzed once you get on the call, based on previous activities, your historical activities, your data can be quickly analyzed and then personalized recommendations can be made. So e.g., you walk into a store or you are trying to buy something on a store and you are speaking to the AI. The AI can recommend and say, oh, based on your historical purchases, based on your personal preference, we have analyzed your data and this is what you should go for. Those personalized recommendations. Now, it's also improved self-services, right? Knowledge bases, neuro-linguistic programming for search, and all of that. It has improved customer experience. So for businesses that have leveraged all of this, it has literally topped or upped their customer service experience because first off, human interaction is limited, and beyond human interactions, I now have array of possibilities. It takes a lot for a customer service agent to listen to you, process your information, and then recommend. Sometimes they don't even have the answers. They have to consult their textbook first before giving you answers. But with AI now, AI just needs to quickly process your data and then improve the answers in your database. Where the answers are not, then they can refer you. Of course, enhanced analytics. Quite unlike before that you need to harvest data first and then have to process it and wait for your data department to provide answers. Now with artificial intelligence in customer support, you can have actionable insights and then trend identification. This is what has happened over a period of time. And then because the system is capturing this information, you don't need to wait. It happens on the go basis, right? And that has helped. Multi-channel support, platform integration, channel prioritization, all of these are things that we are seeing in customer support, leveraging artificial intelligence, predictive support, issue prediction, proactive engagement. I think that recently I had an encounter that was more like an eureka moment for me on a particular platform. So I constantly always have a particular challenge, and I've had to call their customer service multiple times. Now, immediately I tried sending a message on their chatbot. I got an automated response to say, is it the same issue that you're facing? And then he recommended what I should do based on historicals. And in my mind, I was really wowed by that. I was really wowed by it because I'm like, okay, so I don't necessarily need to start typing plenty stories. You already know what my problem could be and already giving me answers. And it was very proactive. Now, automating repetitive tasks, chatbots and virtual assistants, ticket categorization. For anybody that has worked in customer support, you would understand that the biggest challenge is ticket categorization. Which ticket is what flows to who does what. But with AI, it is quite easy to categorize all of these tickets. There are some that have virtual assistants responding to them, and then there are some that need human responses and all of that. If you're able to put all of these things in shape, leveraging AI, then it makes a lot of sense. Sentiment analysis, real-time sentiment analysis and response adjustment. So what are the sentiments guiding a customer's complaint, or what are the sentiments guiding a customer's request? Real-time, on-time, right on the call, leveraging artificial intelligence. You pour in all of those data, it harvests the data, process it, and then you can now determine, I mean, even if you are chatting with the person as a backend customer service person, you are literally chatting with the person, but the system, your AI tool, is already analyzing the customer's complaints and is then suggesting, oh, the type of response you should give, your choice of word, based on how the client feels, the emotions of the client that AI has been able to detect, process it, and then it helps you in providing the accurate response. And of course, training and support for agents, real-time assistance, right? You are literally on AI and your AI can suggest things to you. Oh, how should you respond to this? How should you not respond to all of that? And of course, it can give you performance insight. So these are literally the leverages that AI will create or is creating already in decision making, and of course in customer support. And I strongly believe, right, that as business owners, professionals in this field, one thing that is important for us at every point in time is to understand that AI is a catalyst for financial service transformation. Without artificial intelligence, we'll keep doing things the same old way, and we may never get out of the rabbit hole. Thank you.
Wow, Mr. Tunji, thank you so much. That felt like you just wanted us to get all the knowledge at once and then go and implement. It felt like you gave us an understanding of what AI is not, just to clear our doubts, first of all, saying, I know you all think that AI is coming to take your job, but be relaxed. AI is here to help you. And you were able to tell us that AI is here to help us, where you started to talk about the impacts, how it helps with efficiency, with risk management, with regulatory compliance. And then you also told us how we could use AI as a tool in our businesses, and regardless of the profession that we are all in. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji, for that. I will tell you that I learned a lot. There were some parts where I actually thought that AI could help, but you were able to tell us how AI could help with, for example, risk management. Thank you. So on this note, please, if we have questions, I'd like us to drop our questions in the chat room, and we'll be able to pick it from there. I'm sure Mr. Latunji is still here, but rather than taking questions now from Mr. Latunji, just drop it in the chat room while we have the keynote speaker speak with us. Once he shares his own knowledge, we'll now take all questions together at once, having them as the panelists for the day. So for our next item on the agenda, we have our keynote speaker, Mr. Ajibade Laolu Adewale. I introduced him earlier for those of us who weren't here then. Mr. Ajibade Laolu Adewale is the chairman of CB, and he's also the head of partnerships and ecosystem at Wema Bank. He's a certified card and e-payment expert, and he's noted for his tech expertise, innovative contributions in electronic products and ecosystem development, operations and marketing. He has a niche for deepening corporate relationships with government entities, businesses, and consumers to facilitate acquisition. As the CB chairman, he manages industry stakeholders engagement. He manages engagements with regulators, driving advocacy in the payment industry, as well as financial inclusion. He brings to the fore experience in digital payment industry, information system, and financial control. ranging from collaboration with stakeholders, innovation, technology, and research in digital payment ecosystem. Ajibade Laolu Adewale is an honorary senior member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Once again, please help me welcome Mr. Ajibade Adewale for his own presentation. He's clapping. I'm joining you to clap. You're welcome, sir.
I don't know what you want me to say again. No. This one, that guest speaker has finished everything like this. Even me, I was learning from him. We have a CB has a project in January, and is in partnership with Unilag Business School, and is around the future of AI. I would like to personally invite you guys to join us at that masterclass. I just got off one masterclass this morning, and the presenter, Mr. Olatunji Besom, did a fantastic job. The little is that he didn't give us a certificate for the much that we know about AI now. Let me quickly share my screen, because I mean, in business schools or anywhere in the world, you probably won't learn more than what he has said about AI. The few things I just noticed that he didn't put there, I'll attempt to put them on in the next 5 minutes. So I'm supposed to talk about the same thing Mr. Olatunji has spoken about. And if you can just see my screen, I put up one small quiz there. And I said, can you identify the odd dog? If you see it, just put it in the chat room if you can chat. The odd dog, the odd one. So if you count the columns, 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 5 rows, A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, E. So if you identify it, just put in the chat room. The odd dog is on A1 or A2. You know, we have 6 columns and 5 rows, A, B, C, D, E. The rows are a alphabet. So Remy, can you see the chat room? Is anyone chatting? Did anyone get it correctly?
Not yet. Okay.
Are you guys not participating? Or you're still looking for the odd one? Which is the whole idea. Okay, I'll move on. The reason why I put this up is, you know how long it took you to find the odd one of 30 objects, just 30 objects. Imagine if this was 3 million objects. How do you find the odd one? And these are the kind of things AI is supposed to come and help us achieve. You have had the masterclass, so I won't go too much into the definitions or the some usages, but I will give us some use cases. AI is vital in financial services for enhancing decision making, personalizing customer experience, improving efficiency, and combating fraud. Recall that first quiz that I gave us, and which is identifying. So because this, for human brain, it took a while, but before you can see that it is on D4. If you look at the D4, that's very odd. The shaded here was on the right-hand side compared to the other ones. So that's the odd one. Now, because I put this up, I can tell easily where it is. But imagine if this were 3 million objects, you have to check which one is the odd one. You know, will have given you too much stress in doing. I won't dwell more on this because my guest speaker did a very fantastic job. But I want us to look at the impact of AI by 2030. And this is public information, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers. AI is to generate 234, that looks like Nigerian's phone number, $1 billion to Africa's GDP by 2030. With Nigeria being a significant contributor due to our large economy and financial sector. You know that Nigeria is the first country in the world that deployed instant payments. These are verifiable truths. You can check it. That your instant payment, when you transfer money to Mama in the village and she gets it immediately, you are the first country in the world to deploy that. In fact, in some powerhouses in the world today, You can't just move 25 million naira and it gets there. No. How? Through your mobile app. If you download Alert today, register on Alert. Alert is very usually safe, and I'm going to speak to some of the things Alert uses along the line. Today, you can transfer 25 million naira if you have that money in your account to somebody. The only problem why you won't be able to do that is, one, if you don't have that money. Two, if you don't complete all the questions Alert is asking you. And what Alert has done is to simplify KYC in a digital way using AI to achieve some of the objectives. So AI is to reduce fraud, financial fraud, not eliminate. I'm not sure if anybody can eliminate financial fraud, but can reduce it by 40% in 2030. AI-driven cybersecurity solutions to reduce cyber threats by 50% in 2030. And then we need to be looking at these things because they are important information. The rate at which we are going in this country, especially with respect to fraud, data fraud, reported fraud cases, is high. So we need to be very careful. And AI is expected to prevent over 32 billion in global financial fraud by 2030. Now, another one for us. If you look at all these transactions, can you find the fraudulent transaction here? Meanwhile, one of the transactions may be fraudulent. I mean, these are just random numbers. And this is just to let or call our attention to, oh, that's true. How do I know which one is a fraudulent transaction when it's not like I have witchcraft? And we are even talking about 30 set of transactions here. Meanwhile, the numbers we see daily, the number of transactions that passes through our systems, various systems daily, can run into millions of transactions. How then do we know the fraudulent ones? Based on what our guest speaker spoke about, using historical data, rich data, good data, transforming them using machine learning, we can detect when a fraudulent transaction is about to occur, or the fraudulent transaction, or when a loan is going to go bad, or a customer who will not return our money when it takes long. So popular use cases for fraud, for AI will be fraud detection, risk management, robo-advisory, a personalized customer support. We call the topic for today, and that's what we are speaking to as well. And again, because the guest speaker has told us so much about this, and that's why I'm moving out or took away some of my presentation as well. He's done a fantastic job teaching us about AI. My job here is just to call our attention to the use cases and for the places where they are using it already in the world. I won't speak to all of this, or you can read them, but I'd like to speak to Bank of America, the Erica of Bank of America. I have a Bank of America account, and I use Erica in Nigeria here. There's a chat box on the app. When you launch the app, Erica comes up and says, hello, what's in the app? And so you can ask Erica, or you can go and navigate and find the answer yourself. To me, I've watched Erica grow and become more intelligent over time. So like he said, it's not like somebody will come and take up a job or a computer will come and take up a job. It is the information you give to computer. Over time, it learns faster. And because it has capacity to take too much data, it can learn faster than the human brain. But there are still some arguments around the fact that humans still have emotions and can use native intelligence to deduce or to get answers to some things. In places where there are no historical data or experiences, AI may struggle, but human brain will know that, if you get to that place, those people are wicked. If you try them, they'll bring that dagger and dagger you. AI may not have that kind of information, but human brain will have it. So, like I mentioned about Erica, Erica now serves about 32 million customers, handling over 1.5 million interactions monthly, offering financial advice and transaction support. So Erica can move your money from one account to the other, yes, on Bank of America app. And opportunities, that now creates opportunities for us in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa and Africa as a whole. Using AI for credit scoring, for cost reduction, to mitigate risk, and for other localized solutions that we want to put for our area. There are success stories in Africa as well, because we all hear about the M-Pesa, and there are things that M-Pesa has been able to use AI to do. But I'd like to dwell more on the Wema Bank story, because I work for Wema Bank and I know some of the things we've done. AI and machine learning for customer segmentation and product recommendation. We have done that in Wema Bank. Today, our staff, they have an app. It's actually an AI-driven app. We call it Wema Wiki. It's an AI-powered chat box that gives you all the information a customer might require you to present while you are on the customer side. So when our sales team, when they go out, they have their app very handy. If a customer, you just ask them a question and they don't have knowledge about that question you have asked, they just type it there. The AI on the app searches through the system or the bank's network and see how it can get answer. Otherwise, can go outside and fetch information for the relationship manager. So the customer at every point in time assume that sales team of Wema Bank, they have sense. Yes, they do have sense, but their sense is enhanced with the tools they carry up and down. Then we have AI's customer segmentation. We can tell who our female customers are, transacting customers are, the ones that have gone dormant, the ones that are going dormant, the ones that are churn, and historical data to predict the ones that will even go dormant, the carded customers, the usages, and that has helped us in product recommendation for customers as well. And digital loan repayment model, like I mentioned earlier on, we have also implemented something similar in Wema Bank. There's what we call data box in the bank. So in banks have core banking applications and UOPay licenses for every user. In Wema Bank, we've been able to create a separate platform that is not the core banking, but fetches information from that core banking. Because it was built internally, we can have as many people on it as possible. So that has reduced number of people that we have put on the core banking that we have to pay subscription or licensing for yearly. So like I said, and like the question also spoke about, AI can help you reduce your cost. I mentioned the churn prediction model and product recommendation earlier on. So all this has been able to give us some mileage, 30% increase in cross-sell rate for financial products, 25% improvement in customer retention rates due to more relevant and personalized services. Loan adoption rates increased by 20%. And these are verifiable information. I have data, but I'm not sharing the data here. The numbers are really, really looking good on alerts. And it was because we've been able to utilize the back office using AI to help us with some data-driven insights and predictive analysis in real-world application. Again, talking about improving customer support, the guest speaker told us, in fact, I love that I had to screenshot that particular second to last page that he shared when he was talking about the use cases for customer support. But Bank of America has done something similar. And these are real examples. So if you combine all the literature that he gave us, the masterclass that he gave us, fantastic. And if anybody asks you, where do you think there's a use case? Just mention Erica. And I think you should also Google about Erica when you have a moment. It's been able to give you that 24/7 support, and you think you're speaking to an agent, but in reality, you're either chatting with an agent, a robot, or you're speaking to a robot. One of the two, you're chatting in terms of texting a robot, or you're speaking to a robot before you get to be passed to human, just in case you have to. And the robot keeps getting intelligent day after day. There are challenges as well, and I think you should also mention some of those challenges. Like you mentioned, AI is great when you have quality data. There's still infrastructural gap in Nigeria, but it's improving. This was not where we have with respect to data, and it keeps getting better. Because when we started, I think network, data, all of them used to misbehave. But today, nowadays, they're reasonably stable. So then we also don't collaborate. In 2025, I would like to see us, when we said, no grief for anybody this year. Next year, let's try to grief for ourselves, so that it's not every time that we'll be doing no grief for anybody, no grief for anybody. Next year, let's see how much we can do together collaborating. And there are also regulatory concerns around how we have been able to manage this. I work with the central bank as chairman of CB, and I'm always interacting with the central bank. The central bank officials are people like you and I, and they also require knowledge and require collaboration. They are trying their best to the best of their capacity and capability. If there are other things we think they should be doing, then they're not doing well. Let's come together and engage. If anything I can speak about the central bank is that, or regulators generally, they want to learn more so that they will be able to regulate properly. And that's where I kept that particular regulatory concern part there. Now, moving forward, the road ahead, there are investments in AI that we should make. And all of us should start talking AI. How can it improve our lives? Whenever we see any webinar or seminar or anything around AI, bother to join, bother to listen in, and find out what exactly is this thing that they're talking about. Google, go to YouTube, just listen to a conversation on AI. It will also broaden our knowledge about it. You don't have to be the tech guy who is doing this, but you can contribute better if you understand what AI can do, either as a salesperson or as a product person or as a business executive, because you'll be able to tell the team running it to say, this is what I'm looking for. Can I get, and that will challenge them to go and build such things for you. Regulatory framework, develop policies to guide ethical AI use in financial services, customer-centric, leveraging AI to create seamless, inclusive financial experiences, scalability, scaling AI solutions for SMEs and underserved markets. And then, of course, the emerging technologies, integration of generative AI to further enhance creativity in financial product designs. So call to action will be AI is revolutionizing financial services, driving efficiency, inclusivity, and customer satisfaction. By addressing the challenges and prioritizing ethical consideration, AI can unlock unparalleled opportunities for the industry. So we need to embrace AI, like I mentioned earlier on, to shape the future of financial services while ensuring that we have a vision that empowers financial institutions to build a more connected and inclusive economy through AI innovation. In conclusion, for me, AI has the potential to revolutionize the financial service industry in Nigeria and West Africa by enhancing decision-making and customer support. While there may be challenges, the benefit of AI adoption in financial services outweighs the costs. So there will be costs in the AI, and that cost is majorly in research and development. But you see, we recommend that financial institutions, regulators, and technology providers work together to harness the potential of AI in our industry. Now, we're ready for your questions. But these questions that you are going to ask us, just in case there's anyone that is directed at me personally, I will say from onset that we have a guest speaker who has done plenty of research than I have. Let me just pass that question to him. Thank you, Remy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajibade. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was very apt. You were very brief. However, it had lots of in-depth of knowledge. I mean, I had never heard about Erica, for example. I had even tried downloading Bank of America application at some point, but Erica, I'm sure that's where you were even mentioning Erica on the call. So people's mind were going somewhere else. I had to tell people around me and say, no, he's talking about Erica, the AI for Bank of America. And I'm sure that when most of us leave this this webinar, we'll be able to read more on Erica, like you said. And so Mr. Ajibade also spoke about the road ahead, what we should do with the information that we're getting today. AI can help us with different things, different aspects of our businesses. It can help you scale. It can help with your regulatory framework. It can help with your customer center innovations. And then he also said that we should try to grieve for ourselves in 2025, regardless of how much he spoke about us embracing AI as a transformative tool, and that can help us shape the future of financial services. I learned that I should learn to collaborate more. I will now try to rephrase that for myself now to say, let us try to grieve for AI better in 2025, because our businesses at some point will not thrive if we do not incorporate technologies like AI in our businesses. So thank you so much once again, Mr. Ajibade, for that. Now we'll be taking questions from the house. I would start by a question that I have here. anonymous attendee said, which AI tool are the best to look out for in the coming year? Who would like to take that? Mr. Tunji or Mr. Ajibade? Okay. So Mr. Ajibade already said that we should pass all these questions to
No,
Mr.
I was trying to unmute. And
Okay, all right.
And I was actually trying to also check AI for the answer.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, AI did a fantastic job responding to me. And AI said to me, video and audio editing. There are AI tools on Sequentia, Vid, Filmora, Wondershare. These are popular AI video tools with a comprehensive video editing suite and integration with ChatGPT. Content and copywriting, ChatGPT-4, Jasper, and then there's another one, link unavailable. Then generating AI and images, DALL-E 2, Vid AI image generator, coding. You see, and that's the beauty of all the things we are talking about. This is some guy that can get that information and process using big data and process it very fast. Any question you ask me like this, me on one of my, and you see, the beauty of it is that everybody is already infusing AI in what they are doing. On my teams, there's an AI that organizes, I don't need the secretary. I have an assistant, but I don't need a secretary, I don't need one, because there are AI tools that can get one for me. So I wasn't scared of any question, because I know all I just need to do is take away my video. When you ask me the question like this, I just ask AI, oh boy, you don't ask you, my guy, what's happening? And he will give me the answer. So before you even tell me Joyce's answer, the Joyce question, the global challenge with AI is around ethics. How do you think AI has answered me, giving me answer? So I'm waiting for you to ask that question. Let me just give you the answer that AI told me the answer. So this, what I'm saying is that this year that we didn't grieve for anybody, next year, let's try and collaborate. So I'm not going to grieve for you today because we are still in this year that we're not grieve for ourselves. I'll use AI very, very well. But around that ethics, which Joy has spoken about, these are the issues. Because how do we then ensure that one young boy is not using AI to pass his medical exams? The guy will use AI to pass through medicine. And so you have an AI Ojoro pass. In those days, you call it you don't allow us to carry Ojoro, to carry chips inside exam hall. But today's world, with AI, one guy will just come and copy all those questions and give to AI. AI will answer. But I know that as we have ethical hackers, there are people who will have AI tools that can help you detect that, Oga, this thing you copy from AI, plagiarism and all that, So let me leave the floor to my co-speaker to attempt to also answer this question in another way. The first one, which is the AI tools we should look out for in 2025. But what I'll just say generally is that these things are real. Make sure you get to use them. From my house to my office is a 7 minutes drive. And most times I just feel I know the road. Okay, you can't tell me nothing. But recently I noticed that I jump into some field traffic along the line. So regardless of wherever I'm going to now, once I enter my car, I must put in where I'm going to, so that the AI in my Google Map on my Apple Play in the car can lead me to where I'm going to. I know where I'm going to apparently, but I still use AI because AI can tell me where there's traffic. And of course, it's by processing, there are a lot of people on the road. So whenever AI notices that everybody using AI can tell where you are, everybody, yes, your phone can tell you where you are. And that's the definition of the AI. It's not like AI is one human being or something. So all of you are on the road. Your phone notices that the guy in front of you has slowed down. For the past 5 minutes, you're not working. Clearly, it sends signals to the AI in Google Map. And that will begin to build analytics and predictive that, okay, in fact, I started seeing some few things. If you notice, if you have not started noticing it, please do it now. If you drive in Lagos, wherever you are going to, or if you go move around in Lagos, wherever you are going to, you know that you are going home. Just put on Google Map the address of your house. Lately, what I've noticed is that Google Map tells me that there's police in front. I say, in Nigeria, police in front. Okay, let me see. And it begins to tell you in 50 kilometers, you are close to police. In 100 kilometers, you are close to police. In 10 kilometers, you are close to police. If after that 10 kilometers or 10 meters, it will ask you, did you see police there? The answer you give to AI will make AI know that I should remove that thing for the next user. That no. So AI will probably believe that it's gone. AI on Google Map told me that there is road construction on the road. And there was no road construction. Maybe there was road construction yesterday or some other time, but there was no road construction as such. Because I saw that the road looked like they just repaired it fully. But it asked me, and I said, no, there's no road construction again. So it feeds from the information that people are giving it generally. And what I'm trying to use that one to say is that this AI that I'm talking about is already in Nigeria. And we need to start using it more to be more efficient in our output. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajibade. Mr. Tuji, do you want to attempt to answer Joy's question? Joy, various question said the global challenge with AI is around ethics. How do you think we can best regulate AI as a tool in Nigeria?
All right. So I think that I will just piggyback to one of the things Mr. Ajibade had said during his presentation. First of all, is the acceptance of AI as a tool. And this is across multi-sector. So we all need to accept that artificial intelligence is a tool, right, that has come to stay. And then once the acceptance is globally gotten, I mean, as it relates to our environment, then we need to start making regulatory inputs, right, into AI. Now, I know that there are multiple agencies in Nigeria. I know that there's NASRIC, Science Research Institute, and multiple agencies that are already working. I also know that the Minister of Information and Communication Technology and all of that is also very big on trying to build the AI learning centers and all of that. So I believe that stakeholder engagement has been happening, and part of what we would see from stakeholder engagement is a robust framework that guides the tech aspect of all of this. So yes, it will happen, but what we now need to push for, and that's where people like Mr. Ajibade will come in, is the integration of the tech component of the regulation into the non-tech components like financial services and other sectors. So I think with that, it will help a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tuji. So we have about 2 more questions that I would like to take before we wrap up. We intended spending just an hour on the call. The next question says, how does AI handle complex customer queries compared to human agents? Do you feel there will be a challenge regarding that?
I didn't see that question though, but what I hear you say is maybe somebody is trying to ask comparison between AI and human.
Yes. Yes.
To be honest with you, in my opinion, I think they will complement each other eventually. But you see, that AI element there, you cannot take it away. If you have listened to our guest speaker very well, you will know that the dive into AI is the way to go. Because it looks like this is still you trying to struggle with, oh, will it be human or will it be this? When I was in Oxford University, my professor told me that time, AI will not take your job. However, somebody with AI knowledge will take your job clearly. Somebody with AI knowledge. So whether you're in sales, in products, in tech development, or the business executive, if you don't equip yourself with AI knowledge, and when I mean knowledge, does not mean that you are the developer or you are somebody doing one thing or the other. You may not even touch the computer, but you must have the knowledge of how it works so that you can be able to request what you want. Now, it's also not a bad idea if you begin to take on soft courses on how to, and because these are tools that can help you not only in banking work, in several parts of day-to-day. Today, my presentation today, the outline was given to me by AI. Trust me. And the AI is already in our day-to-day. There's meta.ai on your WhatsApp. Just in case it becomes too much problem for you, just go to meta.ai and type the question there. It gives you. But we need to know how to use AI very well. Remy, be coming down. Remy, be coming down. We need to know how to use AI very, very well. So I give you a typical example, and I go to Joy's question. The global challenge with AI is around ethics. How do you think we can best regulate AI as a tool in Nigeria? Fantastic question. And that question is so rich because she tries to give you what the problem statement is in that question. She now went ahead to ask you the concerns that she has, including putting a jurisdiction. You see, somebody else will have said that same question and say, how do you think we can best regulate AI? You see, it's the same question. But with the question Joy asked, she has said to you that it's a global challenge and it is around ethics. She has now narrowed it down to a jurisdiction, which is of interest to her. And she now went ahead to say, how do we regulate this thing? So she's talking about regulation. She's not talking about challenges or opportunities or anything. She's talking about regulation. And in Nigeria, that has given AI as much information to deep dive into this. As a matter of fact, there are ways that she can even take it further and mentioning names of institutions that can regulate, which may include the Central Bank, the ICSCN, or some other institutions responsible for regulating technology or ethical behavior. Nigeria Bar Association, Nigeria Judiciary Institute, NJI, and House of Assembly. She could also infuse those ones there so that AI can go and get more detailed information around the various roles and responsibilities. So we need to learn how to, we need to know how to, and in all of this question, she might not even be a salesperson, nor a developer, nor anything. She might just be a business executive. We need to have AI knowledge and infuse AI in everything we are doing. So somebody says, I'm coming to work every day. I must use Google Map to get to work. Of course, it's routine. The day it will save you is one day when traffic will tie up around Victoria Island. And you say, it's not where I pass to work every day. I know this place now. But the witches and wizards in Lagos, they've come to do Dirty December on a particular road. Because you have decided not to use AI to move around, you get stuck in that traffic and it may cost you. So to answer our question around which one is more efficient, which one, they will complement each other, both AI and human capacity. I mentioned at some point in the beginning that maybe AI, because it doesn't have data around emotions, may not be able to predict. But in a situation whereby there are use cases, big data, AI can easily learn and give you information fast, insight faster than the capacity of human brain. And you can deduce that from those two exercises that we did earlier on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajibade. I know the last two questions were supposed to be the last questions I said I was going to ask because of time, but there's one more question here that I think would be of great help to everyone. The question says, please, sir, can you recommend a course one can take in AI?
Okay, so can I recommend a course on AI? I can't recommend any course, but calm down, calm down. Let me tell you that for you to ask that question, you're on the right track. That means you are getting inquisitive. In fact, for you to be on this call, you have done well. first, because that's what I said along the line. Let's get involved. Let's know that this is the future. Let's quickly get involved. One. Two, there are several materials you can read online, watch online on YouTube. What is AI safe? And they give you more information. There are speakers. What's webinar? This precept webinars, at least cyber is Mr. If I can, did you charge anybody for this thing? I'm not sure you charge anybody for attending. Correct?
No, we
Or did you
didn't.
charge? Oh,
We didn't
correct.
charge. We didn't charge for this masterclass, like you mentioned.
So we should attend courses like this and be deliberate and intentional about looking out for things like this. Read online. But in all of these things, people like to back whatever they know with a certificate. As a matter of fact, the master class we have in January, the reason why we are partnering with Unilag Business School is so that we can have a certificate. We can give industry leader certificates because our guest speaker is knowledgeable already to come and take us to the next level, the future of AI. You know, the future of AI. But somebody needs to now issue certificates to back what we know already. And that's why there's a need for us to go to an academic environment. Now, when you have done all the ones I mentioned earlier on, you also need to now find something that gives you a certificate so that you can put on your CV. Because what you have learned in your head is great, is good, but you have to be able to prove it to somebody that you know it so that it can create more opportunities for you. But if you are your business owner, you don't need anybody's certificate. Self-learning is best, where you keep learning about this thing. You will now find out that you become a resource, that you are the one speaking about AI, talking about it on LinkedIn, talking about it here and there. Thank you. Well, I'm going to yield back to my co-speaker. Maybe he has some other knowledge on courses to attend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Lajisi, can we have you?
All right, so I think that Mr. Ajibade has said, I mean, I align with his thoughts and he has really harped on it. And I think that the very first thing is showing a bit of interest in learning. And the fastest way to learn is also to use AI to learn. So literally sit down with ChatGPT or Meta AI or the Google own and try to just read up about all of these things. And I would say this, don't learn AI because it looks as if it's the next money spinning tool, right? The best way to grow is to learn the use of AI as it relates to your job. So you are in customer service. So you are learning the impact of AI on customer service and the leverages. What tools should you be learning, right? That's why it's difficult to say, let me recommend a course or let me recommend an application, right? If you're in software development, how do you use AI for software development, right? So look for your own particular niche, right? And then begin to read deeply into how artificial intelligence, machine learning impacts what you currently do, and then build your body of knowledge. I've always opined, right, strongly that the only set of people that will keep their jobs in this new industrial revolution age or technological revolution age are people that are able to merge strategic thinking, technological advancement, right, and proper use of technology with their day-to-day job. If you're able to do all of that together and you sit right in the middle, you become the person everybody wants on the job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Latuji. One of the attendees responded to the panelists actually. He said that prompt engineering is a very good course he took regarding AI. It helped him understand how he can train and tailor AI to help him achieve his goals. Thank you. So for the last item on the agenda today, we'll be welcoming Mr. Elvis Ifekam, who is the country head of CyberPay, to tell us more about CyberPay before we end the webinar for today. You're welcome, Mr. Elvis.
Thank you so much, Remy. It's been a very wonderful session, and I want to say a special thanks to the CB chairman, in person of Ajibadi. He's a great man, and very exposed when it comes to payments in Nigeria and the world at large. Then to Tunji as well, he's actually shown me that I need to go back to class. So forgive us if we call you for another master class again, so sometime soon, because we all know that AI is the way forward. And if you're not joining that bandwagon to ensure that you know what AI is all about and ensure that you gain from the AIs that we have today, then you are losing out greatly. Like Ajibade said, almost everyone today is using AI for one service or the other, and I can tell you for free that to as little as I want to check the weather, you can actually just put it on the Meta, like he said. You get everything you want to know. It's just at your fingertips. And like we are really scared and rightly fully scared in the past to say, oh, AI is coming here to take our jobs. Like he also mentioned in passing to say AI does not have emotions, but humans too. So you need to actually know that no matter how powerful AIs are, it's humans are actually writing those languages behind the scenes. So let's not be scared about AI. Let's all embrace it and run with it. All right, so I would quickly share my slides and talk briefly about CyberPay. I know time is fast spent, so I wouldn't want to actually extend beyond where it is today. So I'll quickly go to, can you please confirm you can see my slide, please?
Yes, your slide is on.
All right, so beyond payments, that's all what we're about. And CyberPay was actually created to ensure that we solve market frictions when it comes to payments in not just Nigeria. That's why you see our mission is saying we want to facilitate transactions globally. So what makes us unique? Really, we've been able to embed AIs to most of the things we do at CyberPay. And majorly, when it comes to the AIs that we use, the APIs, everything that we have embedded it such that it makes it very easy for people who actually are doing business with CyberPay to go to bed and ensure that their transactions are actually being processed swiftly. Settlement is done as accurately as possible and very timely at that. Then we also have the query system. Based on the AIs that we've embedded on our systems, we can ensure that queries are done to actually confirm the ultimate status of your transactions. And we have very high transaction success rates. Our dashboard is excellent, and I'm sure those who are merchants can actually attest to that. So we have a couple of our social products here. Majorly, we have we're a payment gateway, so you can actually use us. Your merchants can use us to actually make payments for different reasons. Like we have different use cases here. Excuse me. So we have use cases for collections, we have for disbursements, we have for VAS, we have for POS businesses, and in all of these too, we try as much as we can to let AI do some form of validations and checks. Because definitely that the bad boys who are always up at night try as much as they can to ensure that they penetrate your systems. But with AIs and human beings who are watching as well, it becomes more fortified. So use cases like I mentioned with respect to collections, that means if you have a website that you collect probably fees from people, you have airlines that need to have a payment gateway on the platform, you have a ride hailing business and you want people to be able to pay effortlessly from anywhere in the world. You have e-commerce websites that need payment gateways. You have a betting company that needs payment gateways. You need logistics and delivery, and you want to embed a payment gateway on it. You can rely on CyberPay for that. So in terms of disbursement as well, this comes to how you make payments. Sorry, I need to go back up. This is how you make payments. It can be single payments, it can be bulk payments. For instance, you want to pay staff salaries to as much as 10,000 staff. We have a solution for that. And you also want to pay probably your employees using our solutions. You can do that. You want to pay scholarship payments, you want to pay budget payments for state governments. I know some of them have as much as 50,000 students today. Some have as much as 100,000 students. You can actually use our solution to pay. One click, you can pay all these people, irrespective of the bank that they have accounts. So for betting companies as well, they are featuring here again because we know that betting companies, once you bet for maybe like 1K, 100 naira. At the end of the day, maybe you win like 1 million. They can use our services here to actually pay those people who have, won different fees or monies really. So for MFBs as well, you do disbursements today, you give loans to customers, and you don't have the wherewithal when it comes to the technology to pay these loans out, or even loan companies that actually regularly give loans to their customers. We can help them enable it to, enable payments on those platforms. So even insurance companies today that actually make payments for different reasons, right? We can actually, automate that as well. Like I mentioned earlier, payroll is also part of what we do. You can use us to pay your staff salaries. And I know some construction companies have as much as 1,000 or even more staff. You can use this to also pay them. Then next I will talk about is the POS business. I'm trying to be as fast as I can, but the thing is you can actually go to our website, www.cyberpay.net.ng, to learn more about Cyberpay. And all these this session we're having is actually on YouTube as well. Look for our YouTube page and find time to actually peruse and learn more about it. So for the POS business, because we're also licensed by CBN to actually carry on as a PTSP, Payment Terminal Service Provider, we work with commercial banks in Nigeria. We have different MFPs on our partnerships, and we have airlines, we have ride-hailing companies who actually need our services. So part of what we have done at Cyberpay is also to use AI here somehow to ensure that you can, if there's an issue with your terminal, you don't necessarily need to. We get to the dashboard and see the terminals that have not transacted. We see the terminals that are out of paper roll. You can check the battery status of the terminals. You can also log in somewhere and generate the receipts that has been printed earlier. So this would actually ensure that when there is issue of they call it chargeback or disputes between the customer, your customers, and the merchants, it's easier for them to actually resolve. I know sometimes some merchants have several transactions, and at the end of the day, the printers have actually are not clear anymore. They're blurry, or even cleaned off because of the kind of paper roll that people actually use. You can actually log in securely to the platform and reprint and use that to actually present your case to say, oh, this customer got value or not. So those are the things we have actually done. Even betting companies, we can also customize applications to suit any industry that you think of, from airlines to churches. I know today some churches are saying, oh, why people want to pay their tithes, I want to capture a particular detail. We can actually do that for any church. For airlines too, we can actually customize such that the PNR is captured at the point of payment. So some cases where you have excess luggage, you want to make that payment at the airport, you can capture the passenger reference number and makes it easier for the airlines to do reconciliations. We can customize for logistics company, any company at all, any sector at all. We can customize the applications, and everything is smooth. So like I mentioned, I wouldn't want to bore you too much with different topics here, but lastly I will end with the fact that we can do VAS as well. So we offer bulk SMS for banks. There are actually basically two types really. There's the promotional and the transactional. With the promotional, definitely you want to send birthday greetings to your customers. You can use that. You want to give them notification to say, oh, we'll be closing early on Friday 22nd or wherever. You can actually use that to do that notification to the customers. Well, we also send the one for transactional, whereby people have gone to the banking hall to deposit money into their account. You need to notify them that this transaction has actually happened on your account, because a lot of people actually rely on it. You want to send them for debit alerts. People actually put only debits. They say, for all the debits that happen in my account, I want to see them. And our SMS is always up and running. Even for airtime and bills payment, we do that as well. So that to me is a good one, where you can actually partner with CyberPay to ensure that you do all that is right. So in a nutshell, I can, beat my chest and say in the industry today, we have exemplified ourselves by the robust platform that we have, and it's very scalable. So at no point in time would we, because we host our data, somewhere. I wouldn't want to actually mention that, but the truth is, you can actually use us and go to sleep, because at every point in time, you cannot have issues that even the AI cannot even solve. Even if AI cannot solve it, there are humans behind the scene who are also giving some human touch to all the solutions that we have. So like I mentioned, we have the collection solutions. If you want to collect monies from your customers as a merchant, you want to make payments or disbursements to maybe different individuals or single individual, we can do that. For VAS as well, we do that. For POS business, you want to buy terminals, we have partnership with several OEMs in around the world. And part of what we have also prided ourselves in is to ensure that our partnerships with these OEMs are very unique, and we have very good rates, competitive rates when it comes to POS sales, as well as other ancillary services in the POS business, like repairs, external repairs. We have a very robust center that we repair our terminals, and these are things that we pride ourselves in. Over and beyond that, we also can actually supply Tama rolls, and very quality one at that. So our payment gateway is top notch. You could just give us a try, and the rest will be history. So thank you everyone, from the moderator and the person of Remy. Thank you for your nice one. You've done well. Then Jibade, the CB chairman, thank you so much for joining us at such short notice, and we appreciate you. And I'm sure I'll be calling up on you again soon, because the thing is, we have not learned enough, and that you have gone to learn from Oxford, we want to also exploit it. Tunji, you've done really well, and I appreciate your time. So if you have questions, I can take them now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I would also like to say that the slides that have been used for this presentation, would love to have them, because I'm sure some of our viewers who have joined would love to probably go back and refresh their minds from time to time. And I'm also one of those people, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Elvis. So once again, we have this recorded on YouTube. Please, you can also go for a recap on YouTube, and then we would also be sharing the slides after the webinar once we receive them. Please, are there questions for Mr. Elvis? I know someone requested for Mr. Elvis's contacts, which I shared the email address. If you'd like to reach out to CyberPay, www.cyberpay.net.ng, you can contact us from there. Jeffrey said amazing presentation. So I'm not seeing any more questions here for Mr. Elvis. So on that note, I won't believe Mr. Elvis already gave the closing remark, but I would also still like to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining. See you all in 2025 for our first webinar of the year. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. We love you from CyberPay.
Thank you.